Hello, everyone. You are listening to the Untapped Mana podcast. I'm your host, Palmer Snell, and I hope you can join me today as we dive into the wonderful world of Magic the Gathering. So, diving on into today's episode, there's a lot that's been happening this week, especially with Modern Horizons 3 rolling around the corner. I know the last 2 weeks and the last two episodes, we've talked about this, and you're probably sick of it, but there's more, and there's so much of the set. I'm so excited for it. So, we're going to be talking about that. The Secret Lair coming out Monday, May 13th, which is in 3 days of this recording. Super excited about that. They've actually released most of the things coming out. I believe everything. I don't know. There could always be something secret thrown in there, but they've released it, so we'll talk about that. And one last thing is that the Baldur's Gate 30th or 50th anniversary is here, so there's going to be a new thing that you can do with your local game stores in the US and Canada, so we'll check that out as well. So if you're ready, then sit back, relax, grab a bag of popcorn, and enjoy the show. So starting off with Modern Horizons 3, again, I know we've talked about it a lot the last couple weeks, but they keep giving us more stuff, especially Wizards. So on their news tab on their website, you can actually see that the pre-con deck lists are up and available. Now, they haven't started spoiling those yet, but when they do, they're going to be very easy to find. Just go to their website, check out the news tab, and then you'll be able to find that. I haven't seen anything on there, but I'll be checking it most days, and I'll post something on Instagram once I see it. But we do have some new cards in their set. They call it their set just showcase the card image gallery. So we'll check these off. So starting off, we have a Johnny I'm not going to pronounce this right. It's a Nakalatul Para. Totally don't mind that mispronunciation, but it is one colorless, one white. It is a legendary creature. It's a cat warrior, of course. It's a Johnny. Whenever a Johnny enters the battlefield, create a 2/1 white cat warrior creature token. Whenever one or more other cats you control die, you may exile a Johnny, then return him to the battlefield, transform under its owner's control. And it's a 1/2. And on the other side is a Planeswalker, which is again a Johnny, and it's white-red. Put a +1/+1 counter on each cat you control for +2, plus with the 0 ability, create a 2/1 white cat warrior creature token. When you do, if you control a red permanent other than a Johnny, he deals damage equal to the number of creatures you control to any target. So that's pretty cool. By the way, the Planeswalker loyalty starts at 3. -4. Each opponent choose an artifact, a creature, an enchantment, and a Planeswalker from among the non-land permanents they control, then sacrifices the rest. So you're going to be able to do that turn, I don't want to say turn 2, but you'll be able to get him to Planeswalker, do the +2, then boom, do that, and you'll have one remaining. So this is a pretty cool Planeswalker. I'm actually going to throw this in my Planes Chase. Not Planes Chase. Oh my gosh, I was talking about Planes Chase earlier. But my Planeswalker deck, especially because it's white and red. And if this is your commander, you can play both white and red colors in your deck. So very excited for this card. Definitely interesting to see where the price is going to land, especially because the borderless special illustration of it, it looks beautiful. So I'm very excited to see where that goes. Another card I don't think I've mentioned is Solitude, which is a 3 colorless, 2 white elemental incarnation. It is a 3/2. It has flash, lifelink, and whenever it enters the battlefield, exile up to one other target creature. That creature's controller gains life equal to the power, and you can evoke it, exile a white card from your hand. So another cool card, and that is from it's the star with the other little things around it. I can't think of the name right off the bat, but it's been in Thunder Junction and Lost Caverns of Ixalan, so it's kind of like the special cards that show up. You know what I'm talking about if you know Magic and if you've opened those, but they're pretty cool, so that'll be a cool thing to get in the set. Along with things in the actual set is Lila, the Blade Reforged, was a 2 colorless, 1 red, legendary creature spirit warrior. It has haste, and whenever it attacks, exile the top card of your library, and you may play that card this turn. Whenever one or more cards are put into exile from your library and or your graveyard, put a +1/+1 counter on this. So super cool card. If you can mill, this is going to be a really cool card just based on milling. I'm very excited to see where that goes. There's a lot you can do with that, especially with exile and being able to play those cards. So looking through some other cards that we've already talked about. The next one I don't think I've talked about is Flare of Cultivation, which is a 1 colorless, 2 green sorcery. You may sacrifice a non-token green creature rather than pay this spell's mana cost. That's kind of cool. If you have a Elvish Mystic or any of the Orlando War Elves, any of that, just a 1 cost just to get it off the board, you can play this card turn 2. Search your library for up to 2 basic land cards, reveal those cards, put one onto the battlefield tapped and the other into your hand, then shuffle. So, again, you can just sacrifice that 1 cost. You can have this 3-drop by turn 2, which is pretty cool. It's a rare. Definitely hope to see that's going to get some play. Next, we have Priest of Tatiana, which is a 1 colorless, 1 green. Elf Druid, it's a 1/1. You can tap and add 1 green mana for each elf on the battlefield. So this is an elf tribal card. Lots of those. Everyone loves elf tribal. The next is a dual color, which is Psychic Frog, which is 1 blue, 1 black. It's a frog creature. It's a 1/2. Whenever Psychic Frog deals combat damage to a player or planeswalker, draw a card, discard a card, put a +1/+1 counter on Psychic Frog, exile 3 cards from your graveyard. Psychic Frog gains flying until end of turn, and the art is just amazing. I can't wait to get my hands on that. Such a funny looking card, and it's a frog, so let's see some frog tribal. I'm hoping to see that. That'd be awesome. Next, we have Scurry of Gremlins, which is a 2 colorless, 1 red, 1 white enchantment. Whenever Scurry of Gremlins enters the battlefield, create 2 1/1 red gremlin creature tokens. Then you get an amount of energy equal to the number of creatures you control. Pay 4 energy. Creatures you control get +1/+0 and gain haste until end of turn. I really like seeing. It looks like that card's going to be in one of the commander decks as well because it has the ripple foil treatment. I really like them bringing the energy back. That's such a cool. I don't know. It's such a cool mechanic. I was playing with the Fallout Precon that has to do with energy, and honestly, I really enjoy it. And I think, again, it's just such a cool mechanic, and they hadn't done it since Kaladesh, and then they brought it back in Fallout, and now it looks like this set's going to have at least a little bit to do with that. So that'll be fun. All my energy players out there are going to have a good time. I hope you're excited for it. Next, we're going to go to colorless cards. Starting off is Emrakul, the World Anew. Everybody knows it. Legendary creature Eldrazi. It is a 12 cost. Whenever you cast this spell, gain control of all creatures target player controls. Flying, protection from spells, and permanents that were cast this turn. When Emrakul, the World Anew, leaves the battlefield, sacrifice all creatures you control. It's a 12/12. It has madness if you pay 6 colorless. Super cool. Can't wait to put this in my Eldrazi deck. Along with the Haragast, which is the dragon we talked about last week. Another super cool card. A card I'm very interested in, which is next, is It That Heralds the End. A weird named card. A 1 colorless, and then 1 generic, and then 1 colorless. Creature Eldrazi drone. Colorless spells you cast with mana value 7 or greater cost 1 less to cast. Other colorless creatures you control get +1/+1. This is a 2/2. So we're going to be having these bigger spells cost 1 less. And because the precon to do with Eldrazi is a multicolor, WUBRG, we can put all the medallions in there to maybe even lower the cost of these big creature spells. So I think that's definitely going to be interesting, especially at Devoid. If it has no color, it's going to be crazy, making these spells super cheap. I'm really excited to see where that goes and kind of what they do with that. I'm very excited to get my hands, of course, on my precon. I got the Eldrazi one. I've never had an Eldrazi deck or played one, so I'm really excited to play it, and I missed out on Command Masters. We're going to go to the lands, and the shock lands are coming back. So, Bloodstained Mire, Flooded Strand, let's see where these other ones are. Polluted Delta. These cards are also good, and I need them in all of my decks. Snow-Covered Wastes are coming in this set. That's super cool. I'm very excited to see what they're going to do with that. Definitely want to get my hands on some of those. Wind-Swept Heath, Wooded Foothills, and it looks like that's it for all of the shock lands. I don't know them all by heart, so I had to go check those out. We talked about Urzur's Cave last week and Ugin's Labyrinth, but all the lands in this set, the special full art lands minus the Snow-Covered Wastes, all have giant Eldrazi in them, and they look sick. Cannot wait to get those into my decks. It looks like the swamp has Emrakul. The mountain has, I can't think of the names right off the bat, but they all look amazing. Definitely want to get my hands on these lands. And they kind of reminded me at first of the March of the Machines lands, and I did not like those with the Phyrexia, but the Eldrazi looks so nice. They almost look like the Godzilla lands, and definitely that's why I'm going to want to get my hands on these. And the Planar Nexus, we talked about that last week, another cool card, but Again, I'm super excited for these snow-covered wastes. Like, these look amazing. I've never had wastes before, so I'll be excited to get my hands on those in the pre-con. And again, just excited to play more. Next, we're going to go into the 2024 Spring Super Drop, which comes out May 13th, 2024. So that, for me, is in 3 days. And if this video is out on time, in 3 days, or recording, I should say. So starting off the Secret Drop, so it says, I'm just going to read it. Spring is in the air, and Secret Lair is full of blossoming foils and non-foils. We have a bouquet of 7 drops, including 4 that are flush with Thunder Junction flavor and saddlebags full to bursting with bundles. Plus, get an exclusive Foil Seedborn Muse promo card for every $200 spent in a single order while supplies last. So Seedborn Muse is a 3 colorless, 2 white creature spirit. It's a rare. Untap all permanents you control during each other player's untap step, and that is a 2/4. Also, total quick interruption. If you hear a dog barking, don't mind that. That is my dog going crazy at the packages we are getting at the door. But going into the rest of the Secret Lair drop, there is, of course, the Hatsune Miku, which it's called the Sakura Superstar. We've already talked about that. We've already gone through all the cards that were showcased for this. Really cool. Definitely go check that out. I believe that was either last week or 2 weeks ago. Next, we have Goblin Graham, and I really want to get my hands on these. They are different Goblin cards, but they look like Instagram, and they are amazing. So their names are like their tags. So, for example, we have Brash Taunter, so it's Brash_Taunter, Goblin Chieftain, Goblin Ringleader, Goblin Welder, and Mog War Marshal. So it shows that their power and toughness is their likes and thumbs up. So the Brash Taunter is a 1/1, Goblin Chieftain a 2/2, Goblin Ringleader a 2/2, Goblin Welder a 1/1, and a Mog War Marshal a 1/1. These are hilarious. The flavor text is other goblins that are like commenting. And so one is like Thrun, the last troll. Like, this is hilarious. And they're going, like, for the Brash Taunter, it is Thrun going skip leg day again, ? And Goblin Chieftain, you're so hot, fight me, lol. And their caption is what they do. So it says, indestructible for Brash Taunter. Whenever the Brash Taunter is dealt damage, it deals that much damage to target more. And then that is so funny. Oh my gosh, these cards are hilarious. Definitely check that out. They're on the MTG news page under Secret Lair. Wait till they come out March 13th. I mean, these are hilarious, and they're all like posing for the photos too. I definitely might get my hands on these. And in the flavor text of like what the post is, it says, "Don't wait. Download Goblin Graham today. You'll be making more enemies in no time." So this is hilarious. The non-foil for each of these are going to be $30. The rainbow foil being $40. Next, we are on to the Outlaw Anthology Volume 1, Rebellious Renegades. So we have Tezzeret the Seeker, Grizzlebrand, Grinzo Havoc Raiser, and Nicobolus Planeswalker. So these are all super cool. 2 Planeswalkers, 2 normal creatures, and it is the Villains Anthology. I think that's a super cool idea, like giving them the, not wanted poster, but it's like old-timey kind of action base. That's kind of what they are. And then there is the Outlaw Anthology Volume 2, the Sinister Scoundrels, including Vorniclex, Voice of Hunger, Corona False God, Core Void, Fey Cursed King, and that one's actually worth a little bit of money, so that's kind of nice, and Memnarch. So that's super cool that we're able to get that. So continuing down the list, we are going to hit the Showcase Outlaws of Thunder Junction. These are more wanted posters, kind of like we already got in the set. So the first one is Kalidas, Trader of Get, Magda, Brazen Outlaw, Dak Faden, Legendary Planeswalker. Sorry, I'm scrolling and reading. And Greasefang, Okabai, Boss. So that's pretty cool. I like the wanted posters. Some people don't like them. I liked how the text looks, how it's not. It's just like a New Times Roman font. Definitely like that. My favorite cards from this drop, though, are the poker faces. So these are different Magic cards, but they look like poker cards, and they are freaking amazing. So Jax is the Troublemaker, legendary creature, human warrior, and I actually can't tell like where like they say like what they do, so they might not even do anything. I honestly don't know. Don't quote me on that, but They look really cool. It's just the Planeswalker cards, not Planeswalker, so don't mind that. The cards where it shows their picture and then it shows like the reverse on the bottom, and then their mana cost like flipped. Super cool. Coffin Queen is the next one. The Goblin King, the Rankle Master of Pranks, and the Professional Facebreaker. So not bad cards at all, but again, super cool. They're called the Poker Faces. They're really awesome, and you can put them kind of any which way. Now, it shows the mana cost at the bottom, so it kind of shows really what you should do, but again, something I definitely want to get my hands on. The next one is the funniest, next to the Goblin Gram of the set, which is the Sans Mercy. So all these cards are in Comic Sans, but some cards are uppercase and some cards are lowercase. So they look really funny, and it's hard to read them, honestly, but the cards are Doomblade, Massacre, Torment of Hailfire, Runation, Morgus, God of Slaughter. And it looks like that's it. And these are all so funny. So some cards are uppercase, some cards are lowercase. It's not even every other one either. Like, they're just so hard to read, but they are great. And it's funny. Like, the flavor text of Massacre is, "Oh no, you're so scary, ROFL," which, rolling on the effing floor, I'm dying. The Torment of Hailfire, the flavor text is, "I hope X is 3, ha 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 ha." Like, these are hilarious. The Runation is even better. It says, "Ouchie, wah wah, please don't cry." So this is just a whole like meme set. These Secret Lairs are awesome. So definitely go check those out when they come out on May 13th, or go check them out early on Magic the Gathering's news website. But now we're going to go into the last part of the episode. So with Baldur's Gate 3, the 50th anniversary coming out, not Baldur's Gate 3, but just the 50th anniversary of that, there's going to be a new kind of thing you can do in your local game stores. So I'll read the description. Keep the Baldur's Gate adventure going. Play with your favorite characters from Baldur's Gate 3 and more. This May 17th through 19th at your local WPN game stores in the US and Canada, and the special Commander Legends Battle for Baldur's Gate draft event. Participating players receive one Commander Legends Battle for Baldur's Gate collector booster to start their deck. You keep all the cards from this booster for your card pool, plus 3 Commander Legends Battle for Baldur's Gate draft packs to draft from. And it's Commander Draft. Open one pack at a time, selecting 2 cards each time a pack passes around, then build your 60-card deck, including your commander or commander and backgrounds to play in 4-player pods. So they showcase a couple cards, which is Minsk and Boo, Timeless Heroes, Karlach, Fury of Avernus, and Sword Coast Sailor. But here's the twist. As you play, you'll be venturing into Baldur's Gate Wilderness. Each table will have an oversized Baldur's Gate Wilderness dungeon play aid. It's not a dungeon you can use anywhere else that you'll use to venture into the dungeon. This dungeon card is chock full of choices to make your benefits to claim that could turn the tide in your favor or seal the deal for victory. Celebrate 50 years of Dungeons & Dragons with Battle for Baldur's Gate 50th Anniversary Edition at WPN game stores near you. So I'm going to read through this giant card. It's called the Baldur's Gate Wilderness. So start off. Crash Landing. Search your library for a basic land card, reveal it, put it into your hand, then shuffle. Then you have 3 ways you can go. So the first one is Goblin Camp. Create a treasure token. Emerald Grove. Create a 2/2 white knight creature token. And the third is Auntie's Tea House. Scry 3. Then you can go down, and you can, from Goblin Camp, you can go into Defiled Temple. You may sacrifice a permanent if you do draw a card. And if you go from Emerald Grove, that'll also go into Defiled Temple. Then Emerald Grove also goes to Mountain Pass, and Annie's Tea House also goes to Mountain Pass. Mountain Pass is you may put a land card from your hand onto the battlefield. So next is Ebon Lake Grotto. Create 2/1/1 Blue Fey Dragon creature tokens with flying. The Grimforge. For each opponent, go up to 1 target creature that player controls. And then the Gith Yankel Kriche? I'm not going to say that right. Distribute 3 +1/+1 counters among up to 3 target creatures you control. Next, we have the Last Light Inn. Draw 2 cards. Rothwine Toll House. Roll 2d4 and create that many treasure tokens. Under that is Moonrise Towers. Instant and sorcery spells you cast this turn cost 3 less. Gauntlet of Shar. Each opponent loses 5 life. And Balazar's Lab. Return up to 2 target creature cards from your graveyard to your hand. Under that is Circus of the Last Days. Create a token that's a copy of one of your commanders, except it's not legendary. So that's really interesting. You're going to get 2 commanders here. Undercity Ruins, create 3 4/1 black skeleton creature tokens with Menace. And then the last is Steel Watch Foundry. You get an emblem with creatures you control, have +2/+2, and trample. At Onsure Sanctum, reveal the top 4 cards of your library and put them into your hand. Each opponent loses life equal to those cards' total mana value. Oh my, that could be a game ender right there. And the Temple of Ball, creatures your opponents control get -5/-5 until end of turn. So that is the Dungeons and Dragons 50th anniversary, kind of the Baldur's Gate special. So that sounds really cool. I definitely want to get my hands on the giant oversized card. I love the oversized cards. And actually, I'm going to a con at the end of May in Phoenix, Arizona. And I'm going to be doing a trade-up challenge where I'm going to try to trade one of my favorite Pokemon cards, Radiant Charjabug, up to a Mox 9, or not Mox 9, oh my gosh, a Power 9, any one of those cards, maybe old booster packs, something I can showcase on the channel, and I'm thinking about maybe getting one of the jumbo cards. So just kind of a preview of what's coming at the end of the month. So there may not be an episode at the end of the month just because I'll be there and not have time to record, but I still think that's going to be pretty cool. And I'm going to try to get my hands on cool stuff, play some Commander games, make a giant vlog. It's going to be a good time. But reaching the end of the episode, I want to give a huge shout out to Zeke's Comics and Games for being the sponsor of this channel and, of course, this episode. I'll be heading there tonight to record gameplay with the Fallout deck, so keep your eyes out on the channel. I just posted today my Doctor Who deck showcase. They're all kind of late, so sorry about that. But the Fallout ones will be coming later this week, and the Fallout gameplay will be coming soon. So super excited for that. But huge shout out to Zeke's Comics and Games. In my Instagram bio, which my tag is Untapped Mana Show, you can find both of their online websites to order any kind of cards or products you need. So definitely go check that out. Super cool place. I'm excited to play some Commander tonight. So thanks for listening, and we're going to kind of wrap up here with the thing we usually do. Never leave any mana untapped. That is, unless you're a blue player. Thank you so much, and have a great day.